What saved Lana Del Rey from ending up in rehab? What triggered her to write the Question for Culture Instagram post? And how swiping right once changed her life? Hey, my name is Joy, and here is the otherworldly Lana Del Rey.
She created us, man. She did. Even if you don't even say that she did, she did.
In the land of gods and monsters, Lana Del Rey, Lizzy Grant, May Jailer, sparkled jump rope queen. Before breaking the internet in 2011 with just another MacBook movie collage to some song called Video Games, the pop diva went through quite a few personas.
Image is important, but I'm a writer first. I've been a writer since I was very young, and I'm a singer second.
Indeed, Lana's life is poetry, and true poetry is often controversial. We all remember her infamous book signing where she wore a COVID-denying mesh mask. However, could that incident pale in comparison with other sins? All in all, time for her true identity. Lana, or Elizabeth Grant, daughter to a domain name entrepreneur, was raised in Lake Placid, a small winter sports resort. But it's the big city life that the little girl singing in a church dreamed of. Unfortunately, not all of her hobbies were that innocent. As an underage teen, Lana was very much into drinking heavily. Maybe she used alcohol to drown her boredom of being a good rich girl. To get sober, she was sent to a strict boarding school at the age of 14. But within a few years, Lana eventually found herself at a rehab center for drug and alcohol addicts in Brooklyn. After getting better, she even helped other addicts to stay sober. Can you believe her musical journey also began there? Thinking about not drinking forever was very scary. But once I did, it wasn't hard anymore, because I had all these miracles happen that let me know I was on exactly the right path, she revealed to the Mirror. One of these miracles was her uncle teaching her 6 basic guitar chords between her shifts at a restaurant in Long Island. Yes, she was a waitress wearing a white dress, as she mentions on her Chemtrails over the country club. Watch till the end to discover more about her new album. I realized I could probably write a million songs with those 6 chords, so I moved to New York and I took a couple of years to just write whatever I wanted, Lana told BBC. Things got even more mysterious and deep as this aspiring songwriter started studying metaphysics in New York. She did philosophy, guys. It explains everything. The birth of Sadcore Venus. While being initiated into all that existential stuff, Lana started playing folk in clubs and bars in downtown New York. Just her guitar, and a microphone. Oddly, she even thought of Broadway. Lana auditioned for Spider-Man, Turn Off the Dark, the musical score by Bono and The Edge.
My path was just so windy just to get to having a first record.
All in all, after years of trying out different styles, as Lizzy Grant turned 20, she finally got an early stab at recording an album, signed a contract and moved to a trailer park. It was tough. Her first alt folk album, Sirens, was never officially released. And her next first album, Lana Del Rey, aka Lizzy Grant, had to be removed by her managers in 2010 to prepare a fresh start for the star who posted video games on YouTube. The self-coined gangster Nancy Sinatra appeared as Born to Die was released. She told us about the dark side of the Hollywood dream, making it clear that behind the superficial gloss, there's a lot of grief, violence, drug and alcohol abuse. How did mentioning these topics cause her backlash in a couple of years? Stay tuned.
There's a lot of stuff I could have not said in the songs, and I said it anyways.
Despite the huge success of video games, Lana herself was making more headlines of newspapers than her career was. Journalists blamed her for being fake, changing styles, names, and hair colors. Every other interview kept showing Del Rey as a more and more controversial figure. Is she real? Being the whole world's crush turned out to be tricky. People really freaked out when Lana emerged out of Lizzy. A young fiction, daughter of a domain name magnate, sniffed the Los Angeles Times. Turns out she already had a failed career in another singing style. So how did she get signed to a major label working with top-selling producers? How dare she sing about living in a trailer when her dad was a millionaire real estate developer? Are we being tricked? Her name isn't Lana, she's not Lana at all. That's not even her natural hair color. Just because I do my hair big doesn't mean I'm a product, Lana said desperately. The media had their own opinion. A review by Pitchfork called Born to Die the album equivalent of a faked orgasm. The cherry on top, her terrible SNL performance. They even had to do a follow-up sketch begging the haters to chill. If Lana survived this, you can survive anything. Anyways, it took quite a while before she felt confident performing. Trouble in Dark Paradise. That was only the beginning of a long timeline of headline-making mishaps the Hollywood Sadcore queen had to endure. As she shared the artwork for Blue Jeans, critics claimed she was an abuse-glamorizing singer. The video showed a man's tattooed hand putting Lana in a chokehold. Moreover, in Ultraviolence, Lana revives an old Phil Spector and the Crystals tune with the words, "He hit me and it felt like a kiss." It doesn't end here. In her Tropico short film, Lana runs with a Hispanic crowd cosplayed as a chola stripper. The video was accused of appropriating Latino gangster culture. Last May, while announcing the release of Norman Rockwell on Instagram, Del Rey posted an emotional message in which she accused critics of denying her as a woman. Apparently, she's started to release years of frustration. Del Rey accused the public of glorifying sex and body-selling artists like Beyoncé or Doja Cat, and said she didn't feel she was ever given the opportunity to be herself. And that's where it all started crashing down. Lana mostly targeted women of color, and the artist's fans united against her. She was immediately cancelled on social media. Despite all the further explanations on her Instagram, Del Rey's reputation seriously suffered. Pin up and down. Now you know, Lana's creative path hasn't been a bed of roses at all. "I've been discredited for 7 years," she recently told Mojo. But Del Rey didn't give up. She returned to what she has always been, a cowgirl with the blues. Happily, Lana is not alone, as the cover photo of Chemtrails over the country club shows her laughing surrounded by a bunch of friends. Not all of whom are white, as some might have assumed given the controversy in 2020 when she was accused of racism and of setting back feminist progress by glamorizing toxic relationships. As it happens when it comes to my amazing friends and this cover, yes, there are people of color on this record's picture, she added. "My best friends are rappers, my boyfriends have been rappers." This statement led to another scandal, though, fans themselves pointing out various issues with both Lana's comment and the album cover. One of them wrote, "When you say you have dated rappers, are you inferring all rappers are black men? Weird thing to mention when claiming you're not racist and have women of color and people of color in your life." Finding her own truth. Since Lana enrolled for philosophy in the late 2000s, she's been questioning what would happen if the world stopped. So when it did, she says, "I was kind of shocked." However, the pandemic didn't affect her creativity at all. Just after releasing her 7th studio album, she announced a new album, Rock Candy Sweet, a record that she claims will challenge accusations of cultural appropriation and glamorizing domestic abuse. She still is a true diva, sometimes contradictory, but always surprising. "I'm very hopeful that I'll feel more and more serene. I just like the idea of waking up peacefully rather than waking up in a sweat." Indeed, Lana. Eagle-eyed fans even spotted a ring on Del Rey's left finger as she sang "Love You Like a Woman" on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. Lana met her future husband on a dating app. Even though that's only a scoop from People, we kind of believe it. The global pandemic has made dating apps our only hope. Also, there was the following photo on Clayton Johnson, her fiancé's Instagram, posted in early November, where fans swore they recognized Del Rey by her feet. "Guard those feet with your life," a commenter advised. Lana Del Rey is not about choosing sides and giving up on her contradictions between Beyoncé and Joni Mitchell, folk and gothic, pop and Americana, indie and mainstream, love and violence. This is what Chemtrails over the Country Club reveals. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, please also check out our videos about Billie Eilish and Rihanna. Please share in the comments and stay awesome.